Welcome to Awaz News. I'm Simona Cotoni and I'll be taking you through big news across Canada. Jury finds Amber Heard defamed ex-husband Johnny Depp. Crown to charge 15 Coastal GasLink pipeline protester with criminal contempt. UK all decked out for Queen Elizabeth's Platinum Jubilee. Bank of Canada makes another supersized hike to key rate, warns of more to come. Ontario party leaders make final push ahead of Thursday election. Could this be the end of Taste of the Danforth? Organizer says logistical issues hampering this year's event. Senior officer faced with sexual misconduct allegation retiring from Canadian Forces. Tim Horton app track users' movement even when it's not open. Avalanche down Oilers 8-6 in a wild game, 1 to open Western Conference Final. So those were the headlines. Now let's jump right into the details. A jury today said it has reached a verdict in Johnny Depp's libel lawsuit against his ex-wife Amber Heard, who testified that Depp physically and sexually assaulted her on multiple occasions. The jury also has reached a verdict regarding $100 million counterclaim Heard filed against Depp. Heard said she was defamed when Depp's lawyer called her abuse allegation a hoax. The verdicts were expected to be read inside the Virginia court at 3 p.m. today, but the judge sent the jury back because it has not completely filled out the form. The testimony during the 6-week trial has included lurid detail of their short and volatile marriage. Heard testified that Depp physically or sexually assaulted her more than a dozen times. Depp said he never struck Heard, that she concocted the abuse allegation, and she was the one who physically attacked him multiple times. During the closing argument, both sides told the jury that a verdict in their favor would give their client their lives back. Depp hasn't been waiting in Virginia for the decision. He spent the last few days on stage singing and playing guitar with Jeff Beck in United Kingdom. The BC Prosecution Service plans to prosecute 15 protesters for criminal contempt for allegedly defying an injunction protecting construction of a controversial pipeline in northern British Columbia. A Crown lawyer told BC Supreme Court Justice Margaret Church on Wednesday that prosecutors need 4 more weeks to decide whether to charge 10 other protesters with criminal contempt in relation to blockades and action last fall opposing Coastal GasLink's natural gas pipeline. Prosecutor Trevor Shaw said the Crown has decided not to charge 2 of the 27 individuals who were arrested over the period of 6 days between September and November 2021. It's the first time the legal conflict between the Coastal GasLink and supporters of the Wet'suwet'en hereditary chief, who claim the pipeline infringes on their traditional territory, has escalated into the area of criminal contempt, which involved public defiance of a court order. The United Kingdom will mark Queen Elizabeth's 70 years on the throne this week with 4 days of celebration, from military parades and a church service to street parties and a pop concert outside the Buckingham Palace. Elizabeth, who's 96, has been on the throne since she was 25 and an ever-present figure in the UK and one of the most recognizable faces in the world. Here's a look at the decoration, the royal fans, and the special event ahead of the Platinum Jubilee celebration that begin Thursday. There will be a Piccadilly circus outside the Buckingham Palace on the day 1. In an unprecedented move, the Bank of Canada has announced a major increase to its key interest rate for the second time in 2 months as it forecasts higher consumer prices to come this year. The central bank increased its policy rate by half a percentage point to 1.5% today and warned that the rates will need to rise further to rein in inflation. Russia's invasion of Ukraine, COVID-19 lockdowns in China, and backlogged supply chains are fueling to uncertainty and higher prices for food and energy, the institution said. Those global pressures, along with low unemployment rate at home, will likely push inflation well past the bank's previously projected rate of 5.8% for the first half of the year. The annual pace of inflation rose to 6.8% in April, the fastest year-over-year rise in more than 3 decades, as prices for the broad range of goods from food to gasoline continue to climb. Ontario's political party leaders hit the campaign trail for the last full day, making their final pitches to the voter. NDP leader Andrea Horwath starts her day in Brampton, where her party made gains in the last election and hopes to maintain, if not grow, them this time. Healthcare will be her focus. She will also make stop in Cambridge and the riding of Brantford Brant, Flamborough, Cranbrook, Brampton West, and Etobicoke Lakeshore before ending the marathon day in Toronto. Progressive Conservative leader Doug Ford will be door-knocking in Brampton Centre and Mississauga East Cooksville, then will hold a rally in his home turf of West End Toronto, known as Etobicoke. He will not take any questions from reporters for a second day in a row. Liberal leader Stephen Del Duca is set to make an announcement in North Toronto. Green Party leader Mike Schreiner is set to start the day in Brantford before traveling to St. Thomas, London, and Kitchener, all regions in southwestern Ontario where his own seat of Guelph is located. Voters go to polls Thursday. One of Toronto's most popular street festival could be facing an uncertain future. After a 2-year hiatus due to COVID-19 pandemic, Taste of Danforth is being hampered by logistical issues, organizers says. The event is produced by the Greektown on the Danforth Business Improvement Area and is slated to take place August 5th to 7th on Danforth Avenue from Broadview to Donland Avenues. But in a statement provided this morning, Mary Fragidakis, the BIA's executive director, said organizers have been in talks with the City of Toronto for 5 months about their concern about how to actually stage the event. We have continuously asked the city to remove the Cafe Toronto curb lane patios and bike lane infrastructure for 3 days to allow us to host the taste. She said the city is not budging. A City of Toronto spokesperson said they would continue to actively work with the festival organizer to find a solution. The former head of human resources at Canadian Armed Forces is retiring before his sexual assault case goes to trial next year. A new message from the force's senior leadership to member confirms Vice Admiral Hayden Edmondson is retiring after more than 30 years. Edmondson was charged with sexual assault and indecent acts last year. He's been on indefinite paid leave for more than a year following reporting on his case. His lawyer Brian Greenspan has said he looks forward to restoring his client's distinguished reputation for service to our country. The force is in the midst of major shakeup to its senior rank, with its Army, Air Force, and Navy all getting new commanders. The Tim Hortons mobile ordering app violated the laws by collecting vast amount of location information from customer. An investigation by federal and provincial privacy watchdog has found. In a report released today, the Privacy Commissioner says people who downloaded the Tim Hortons app had their movements tracked and recorded every few minutes, even when the app was not open on their phone. The investigation came after National Post reporter obtained the data showing the Tim Hortons app on his phone had tracked his location more than 2,700 times in less than 5 months. The commissioner found the Tim Hortons app asks for permission to access a mobile device geolocation function, but misled many users to believe information would be assessed only when the app was in use. However, the app tracked users as long as the device was on, continuously gathering information about their location data. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Simona Cotoni, and I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same channel. Have a good night.